So it seems like we have a little bit of a situation going on over in the Wuthering Waves community. Now, if you don't know, Wuthering Waves just released some of their drip marketing for the new characters coming to version 2.4, which I covered in previous videos if you guys want to go check that out. But essentially what happened was they announced the two new characters, Lupa and also Cartethyia as well, who obviously, we know Cartethyia from the story. And essentially, yeah, they look amazing and, a lot of the details look great. I'm very excited for them to come to the game. And they just recently released these preview things as well, giving us more of a look at their designs, and honestly, I'm even more excited. But one person that will never be excited about some really good Wuthering Waves updates is Hoyoverse fans. Now, I'm not saying just Hoyoverse fans, I'm talking the more extreme Hoyoverse fans, which actually go ahead and, try to sabotage a lot of the stuff that is going on with Wuthering Waves. Now, this is a post over on the Gacha Police pretty much saying Hoyoshills are trying to report cartethyia again. Now, obviously, they say the portrait of Kati in the corner that no one cares about. I feel much less mature than Rianji. I don't know what that means. Again, obviously, they're talking about Cartethyia there. And so, essentially, as you can see here down in the replies, there's actually this reply from someone called Diary of a Butterfly with a Castrus profile picture. So, obviously, there are some kind of Honkai Star or Castrus fan. And essentially, they say you can click the reporting button now, and then they put down below the text saying character Cartethia's portrait display, specific character name Cartethyia report, and they say the reason the character portraits in the game contain obvious sexual innuendos and borderline pornographic content. The content is specifically manifested as follows, and then they say one, costume design, characters are overly exposed, and they go and say such a perspective, and then it just kind of ends there. Yeah, and essentially it's all kind of jumbled just due to the fact of it, being in Chinese and it being like translated. I'm guessing that is through Google Translate, but essentially what they're trying to do is report Cartethyia again for essentially having some kind of sexual design or something. Obviously, we saw this the other month with Cantarella and also with Fleur-de-Lis as well, which is the other half of Cartethyia as well, which again might cause a problem for Wuthering Waves in the future. Now, I don't think Cartethyia or Fleur-de-Lis in this kind of thing is that badly designed in terms of adhering to the rules set by the CCP and everything like that to do censorship. I honestly don't think it's that bad, and I feel like they probably won't take any action. But obviously, it is a little bit concerning to see the fact that people are going out their way and reporting it, and there is that chance that they could do some kind of investigation into it and potentially change the game again, because obviously that was a massive situation that actually went on just the other week, and it seems like they found a way to kind of annoy Wuthering Waves fans, and it's just kind of sad, and we know that these are, fans of Hoyoverse. These are people that don't want Wuthering Waves to succeed, and it's just like, why would you do this? It's kind of sad just to see that the existence of a lot of these people is just to report the game and hate on the game. Is that really what you want to do with the rest of your life? Just keep reporting Wuthering Waves just because, you don't like it. None of us have a problem with you playing, Hoyoverse games or whatever, but for some reason they feel the need to go ahead and report a game that a lot of people love just because they don't like the fact that it's being outdone at the moment and that they are actually implementing some very good things into the game. Now, obviously, yeah, we got some replies here saying game gets censored, Kuros to apologize, I get more free stuff, W Hoyoshills, which again, I just don't think is the case. It actually, obviously it was great whenever we did receive some rewards and stuff like that. I don't even think we actually received any rewards. Anyways, obviously I don't think it's a good thing that this happens. Obviously they were happy about some rewards or whatever. I still think that, with all the drama and stuff that went on during that time, there's still a lot of people that left the game over it and left the game whenever it came back, which obviously provides a big hit to the player base of Wuthering Waves. Now, did a lot of people leave? No, but there is still a significant amount, which could have been avoided if that doesn't happen in the first place. So again, I feel like, yeah, no, it's not W Hoyoshills there. They shouldn't keep doing this because obviously it provides the game with a little bit of instability, which just is not good for the game or the player base at all. They say you should be specific. These are CN Hoyoshills, not American ones. Again, I don't think it really matters. At the end of the day, they are both groups of people who were willing to do pretty much anything for Hoyoverse. So yeah, I don't think it really matters where they're based. Now it says wuwa and its fandom are always cursed to always have to keep up with these losers. I hate this gacha wars. I don't understand it. They're mentally ill to care so much about this game, which yeah, is definitely true. They're saying I just wish I could punch this idiot in the face. This is crazy. They say it is alright, guys. Just wait until the other gacha game comes out, then they could do this because it is the only target right now. Which, to be honest, is kind of true. As soon as another gacha game comes around the corner, that is, you know, somewhat more similar to Genshin Impact, I'm sure a lot of the Hoyoshills will go ahead and just jump ship and go to another game to kind of attack and harass and pretty much make their life hell. Because again, you know, there's all these new games coming out, not just Wuthering Waves, that are now competing with Genshin Impact. They're now competing with a lot of Hoyoverse games, and they don't like the fact that that is happening. Obviously, we've got like a thorough restart coming out, which is kind of like a PvP, almost like Honkai Star Rail type thing. And I'm sure, you know, a lot of Hoyoshills aren't happy about that either. And there's so many other games that are coming out that are very similar in design, or, you know, at least have some kind of similar aspects, which people are not going to like at all, and they're going to do similar things like this, and it's going as far as reporting the game and reporting some of the characters. They say, why don't these losers focus on their own games, which, yeah, is definitely true. They say, geez, I know that the Woo community has a lot of problems, but please, 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 never become so pathetic. It's so pathetic, the word itself is suffering from secondhand embarrassment. Wishing there was another description to this. Say, obviously butthurt because of how mid Skirk's animations was. If you guys have seen, it was essentially like leaked what Skirk's animations look like, and apparently they were pretty bad. They don't look anything amazing. So yeah, maybe that was also another factor. Like, it was just like, you know, they didn't like the fact that their character didn't look that great, so they decided to go ahead and just go and report Wuthering Waves out of frustration, which I think, yeah, is quite funny. They say kind of funny why this isn't a problem in Genshin 2. I mean, too visible skin is a problem. This lady is wearing only an apron. I don't think I can show that. I know what that image is, but essentially, yeah, it seems like, you know, it's just a problem that's been ongoing with Wuthering Waves ever since the start of the game, and it seems like it's never going to end, you know? People are going to continue reporting this game. People are going to continue to try and, like, you know, stir up something behind it, which is great for me because obviously I'm going to get to cover it in terms of content. But in terms of the game and the stability of the game, it is kind of worrying. And also, you know, it's just like, it's just kind of annoying. You know, I feel like all these Hoyoshills reporting Wuthering Waves and going ahead for no reason, just for the fact that they don't like the game. It's just like, why would we even do this? You know, I feel like I don't think I've seen any cases of, you know, people who play Kuro games or something like that going ahead over to Hoyoverse games and reporting them. So why would you do the same back to us? You know, it's fine. You know, I don't mind a little bit of the bickering between the two communities, be like, no, our game's better. No, our game's better, or whatever. I don't care, because obviously I play all of the Hoyoverse games and I play Wuthering Waves. I mean, you know, it doesn't really matter to me. But, you know, obviously whenever it gets to this point where it's like reporting, trying to sabotage the game as a whole, it's just like, do we really need to do this? You know, did we really need to go ahead and report it? And obviously, me being more Kuro games based, it's kind of more obvious to me that, you know, obviously a lot of Kuro games players or Wuthering Waves players don't do this kind of stuff back. And that just kind of shows you the difference between the communities and the maturity of them, because, you know, Wuthering Waves has nothing to worry about. You know, they're doing great. As long as they keep uploading great updates, then they can, you know, continue to keep doing very, very well. And unless Genshin Impact or one of the other games actually steps up a little and tries to compete with that, well, you know, it's always going to grow and it's always going to keep doing better, because again, they're doing what a lot of people wanted in Genshin Impact and what people, you know, wanted in the past. And yeah, obviously some people just cannot handle that fact. But yeah, that's essentially what is going on in the community at the moment. I thought it was rather interesting. And yeah, it got very popular over on the Gacha Police, got 57,000 views, 1.4 thousand likes. So again, tons of people have been chiming in on this. But yeah, I thought this was kind of crazy, and it's just kind of pathetic to see that, you know, some people have gone this far just to do this kind of stuff. It's just like, come on guys, can we just like get a little bit better at this? But hey, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this. Do you think that this is a pretty bad situation? Do you think that they should be reporting the game over this? Honestly, I don't think so, but again, let me know down in the comments. Also, go to GameStop, use my code KAZA, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.